We'll now have a presentation by Mr. Omar Frits Eriksson, who is the Deputy Secretary General and Dean of the IALA World-Wide Academy. Mr. Eriksson's presentation will be on maritime digitalization, a harmonized approach, future challenges for shore infrastructure. Mr. Eriksson, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Four technical committees that do the work voluntarily, basically in their spare time, because they meet twice a year for a week, each of these committees, and do some work there, but the bulk of the work is actually done at home alongside their normal work. Typically, these people would work with a maritime authority or in a company that actually produces H2 navigation. The unique thing about IALA is actually that we are an association of maritime authorities, but also we have industrial members. So more than half of our membership is actually the industry. So we marry the industry with the end users actually. And we have a special committee on e-navigation and information services, etc. The output is a number of publications, standards, recommendations, guidelines, and manuals. And more recently, we've been doing this since 1957. We were inaugurated in 1957. But more recently, we have also developed some model courses to educate people on the standards, recommendations, guidelines, and manuals. These are the current standards that we have published: 8-ton planning and service requirements, how to design ACE navigation and deliver them, radio navigation services, vessel traffic services, how to do training and certification. This was particularly VTS training in the beginning, but now it's the whole package, if you will. Digital communication technologies and information services. Now, as most of you will know, the IMO has taken the lead in developing e-navigation and e-navigation solutions, and early on it was agreed that this standardization should be based on the IHO S100 concept, which is a geospatial information registry. Basically, it contains product specifications, S100 type product specifications, and these products are digital products. So it basically a product specification would describe what the product is, how it is composed, and how it can be exchanged between systems. The S100 series of product specifications, which are in the hundreds, are IHO products. 200, the S200 series is IALA related products, etc. So there are different parts of our maritime domain have different S1, 2, 300 domains that are managed by different international organizations. So at the moment we have 5 types of specifications or description documents that describe digital services. First, there is the maritime service descriptions, which is a very high level description, which is managed by the IMO. Then we have a more specific S100, 200 or 300, 400 data product specification. And then there is an IALA managed technical service specification. So these 3 are basic principles and they are technology agnostic. So they should be long lasting. They should be very, very basic and principles, not solutions, basically. Then we move on to the technical service design description documents, which then starts to select a technology to actually implement the digital service. And finally, there is an instance description, which is like the yellow book, telephone book, yellow pages, where you actually can find it. So it's like an index of where to find it, find the service. We have organized a conference called e-navigation underway for 10 years now, where we have discussed these matters and where we have tried to advance our understanding of what this is all about and how to go about it. This has been organized by IALA in cooperation with the Danish Maritime Authority and lately Ministry of Ocean and Fisheries in Korea, South Korea. And we have also had some individuals in North America, in the US, who have organized this conference in North America. So we have 3 sets of 3 conferences every year. The international conference in Denmark, the North America in various places in North America, and then Asia Pacific in South Korea over the last few years now. We have analyzed a little bit what have we been discussing over the years. What have we said to each other at these conferences? And in the beginning, we were very specific on a lot of technologies such as AIS and route exchange, and we started talking about how to exchange information. Could we use AIS, or did we need something else? And this is in the beginning on the left, and now lately we have matured our thinking, and we've started to talk about something called the Maritime Connectivity Platform, which is a concept that actually connects. Yeah, there you can see it, Maritime Connectivity Platform here okay, there it is, yes. We talk about 5G solutions. So the communication channels are very important, and of course the reliability of these, etc. So slowly we have matured our thinking, and we are now at the stage, I think, where we are getting ready to implement. At the same time, we have abandoned the e-navigation underway concept or title, and widened the scope. So it's not just e-navigation, but it's digital at sea. Will be the next conference. Will be called Digital at Sea, and we will have one in the international one, probably in Denmark, and then Asia Pacific and North America as well. So there we will. Basically, this is a more informal forum where we can discuss more openly, and we're usually very frank with each other, unlike formal meetings in IMO and IALA, etc. So, what are the challenges? What are the challenges actually? We have all these basically a framework. Which enables us to develop digital services. So shipping is indeed global, and the ships of the future must be able to exchange information with each other and with shoreside stakeholders. And this should preferably happen seamlessly and automatically, machine to machine. And the ship should only have to carry one set of equipment, which enables them to carry out this information exchange, regardless of where they are in the world. And the goal has to be to establish a harmonized global information exchange system. This requires a high degree of interoperability between the different systems, which will emerge in different parts of the world by different vendors, etc. So we are looking at a kind of a system of systems which all work seamlessly together. So IMO, IHO, IALA, and others, Maritime Connectivity Platform Consortium, have created a framework which enables harmonized approach to develop such a system of systems. And we have defined the process to describe, develop, and implement globally harmonized digital services. However, it seems that those who are currently developing such systems are not very much aware of this framework, or in other words, they are not using it properly. It's not being utilized actually very much. We see very little movement actually. Traditionally, the maritime domain, I think a previous speaker was talking about this as well, vendor locking has been an important part of the prevailing business models. And there's little appetite for ensuring interoperability between systems from different vendors. Everybody wants harmonization, but nobody wants to be harmonized. And that seems to be the biggest challenge we are facing. But the framework is there, and we should use it. We should start using it properly. Now, finally, I just want to mention that IALA is an NGO, a non-governmental organization at present. But 10 years ago, we started a diplomatic process to transform IALA into an intergovernmental organization. And this process culminates in November this year in Paris, where the government of France invites all other coastal states to sign an international convention, which has been agreed. So we are moving from an NGO to an IGO in the foreseeable future. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Omar. Very interesting, but very simple question maybe on your last statement. Going from an NGO to an IGO and becoming intergovernmental, will that in a way slow down the process of exchange and the progress? And I link that to the other question that I have in navigation, of course, and I meant to ask you on that. It's a concept that we in the Cyprus Shipping Chamber set up a specific working group to monitor the work on e-navigation, which was quite well progressed at IMO, but it seems to have gone totally quiet now. So maybe you can sort of throw some light as to both questions, becoming a governmental organization, intergovernmental organization, now whether it will help them promote the issues that IALA was promoting. And secondly, e-navigation. You say now that you're changing the title to Digital at Sea. Is that IALA or is that going to be an IMO change as well? Thank you.
Okay. First, the last question there. Digital at Sea is an IALA event, co-organized by IALA, the Danish Maritime Authority, and the Korean Ministry of Fisheries, and hopefully also the US Coast Guard. They are considering becoming a part of this, as well as the RTCM. So it has nothing to do with IMO, actually. It's a separate thing. Secondly, you said that e-navigation has gone silent. Well, we have spent 10, 15 years now talking about e-navigation and e-navigation solutions and services, and maybe it's time to reframe this and talk about digitalization in more general terms. And because what is e-navigation? It is basically everything to do with safe navigation, if you will, and efficient movement of vessels. And it is maybe the term e-navigation is a bit worn out by now. And then the movement from an NGO, or transformation from an NGO to an IGO, we think that in IALA that this will strengthen us. This will make our voice stronger. Indeed, in the IMO, we will have a stronger voice. Our recommendations, standards, guidelines, publications will have more force. I mean, if a coastal state signs an international convention which encompasses a number of standards, then surely they would be inclined to or expected to follow the normative recommendations that we have. We have two types of recommendations, normative and informative. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Thanks. Thank you, Omar. Clear to me.
Thank you very much.
I don't see any other questions. So thank you very much, Omar. Thank you for your participation.